Whatever this nigga's name is, Alex come back is herbal. Let's get it.
So around a year ago, a commentary YouTuber named ImAllexx's completely lost his career in the span of 24 hours, as his ex-girlfriend Alice had exposed him for being a completely different person off camera. You see, Alice released this 82-page Google Doc where she displayed how toxic, abusive, and downright disturbing their one-year relationship was.
Bro, do you know how shitty the relationship has to be for your girl? For your girl to release an 82-page Google document, my heart. Oh shit, she been compiling that. They were dating for a year. She been compiling that joint since the third month, bro.
Hundreds of text messages, voice and video recordings, and other evidence was released to the general public all at once. It was a bombshell, and the people of YouTube feasted on this information like wild piranhas. Because for years, this man had presented himself as the nice guy, an ally to every community who had nothing but love in his heart. I want to say at one time this dude even had e-girls and maybe some e-guys lusting over him online. I mean, this was his merch after all.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, I have many gay friends.
My father's gay.
Now, in all reality, Alex is an egotistical, self-absorbed clown who thinks he is superior to other people because he ran a successful YouTube channel. His ego was on full display when he would talk about how great he was, and how his brain was truly an enigma too complicated for others to understand.
To the point where it's actually really hard to follow what I'm saying, because it's so flexible. I've gone, you could do this, but you might be able to do that, but you might be able to do that, and you might be able to do this, and this might work, but you might be able to do that. And it sounds fucking mental. I don't even understand how you could possibly actually follow along to it. Like most of my friends struggle to actually understand what I'm saying.
She even stayed a whole year, bro. Imagine staying a whole year with this. Imagine staying. Oh my god, my neck hurts. Imagine staying a whole year with this type of a human being.
But that's why I'm a professional and you're all not. And you think you can just ignore them because like, well, what's the worst that can happen? I don't know. Your boyfriend's a famous internet celebrity and doesn't trust these people because he has to keep his circle small. Because you might not have anything to fucking lose because your life might be down the fucking drain. But I still have quite a lot that I would like to fucking give.
You would think this guy was making Martin Scorsese.
Look at him, bro. I don't want to be rude or nothing, but look at the nigga. Okay. I'll stop.
Scorsese level films the way his head was so big. I've actually interacted with quite a few YouTubers who were just like this guy, who basically act like they're God's gift to Earth because they touched a little paper and gained a following online, and it makes me sick. But being conceited was not this guy's worst offense, as there were these other video and audio clips where he was berating his girlfriend with disgusting insults and threats.
Thing about you, and this is the thing, and this is why I go round and round in circles. I joined cool. Now, when it's too fucking late, you admit that you did everything fucking wrong. But when it actually matters, when you should lay down like a good fucking dog, you don't fucking do it. You fight for some reason. I don't know why you fight, because you're losing. And then you look like a miserable fucking little cunt all the time. Like, your face is annoying to look at, like, when I come downstairs. Like, I'm actually fed up of looking at you. You actually, like, you don't clean up after yourself. Nigga, neither do you. Is it generally because you're just fucking brain dead?
Yeah, I'm very brain dead, yeah.
Is that why you decided to go on the fucking offensive instead of the, maybe...
Offensive.
Okay. Just do the normal route, but a normal girlfriend would do.
Acting like this is all just me, and that's something you really need to fucking fix.
I'm gonna fucking bash your fucking head against the wall with a...
Never in my life did I... What? What the hell, bro? What in God's green earth is going on? What in God's green... Who is this dude? What gave him such an ego? Who does he think he is, bro?
Brick if you don't shut the up.
That is just a mere glimpse into the types of things he was saying to his girlfriend on a regular basis during their relationship. It seems like he essentially wanted her to always be available to him at his disposal, while he also looked down upon her because she wasn't working, and he was funding their lifestyle. He also came off as very manipulative, emotionally stunted, and without a better way for me to say it, he comes off as a massive puss. I do want to make it clear though that both of these people appear to be incredibly immature, insanely toxic, and they were definitely not meant to be together in general. I mean, even just on paper, right? A commentary YouTuber dating an OF girl sounds like a recipe for disaster. Like, honestly, if you were going to do social media stuff for a living, I would actually recommend that you find a partner that has a more normal job. Because at the end of the day, there needs to be some level of separation. You need to be able to disconnect. Now, with that being said, though, I cannot even begin to imagine talking to any girlfriend I've ever had this way. It's one thing to get mad and say something you don't mean, or tell her to get out of your face or something like that. But to say you're gonna unalive someone, or that you want to bash their head into a wall, or allegedly destroying their property after they decide they did not want to be with you, that is the move of someone who cannot control themselves.
I'm crazy and you wouldn't understand me. You wouldn't understand the hardships I've been through.
You know, back when I was in my early 20s, I would oftentimes let my emotions get the best of me. Like, something would make me mad and I would want to scream, I would want to cry, I would want to speed in my car, maybe punch a hole in the wall, just dumb shit like that. That is until my dad sat me down one day when something bad had happened to me and I was freaking out. And he said, son, you're gonna go into the PLP Hall of Fame. And I'm like, Dad, what's PLP? Like peace, love, and positivity? Like Logic says? And he's like, no, son. It's an acronym for poor little pussy. Because honestly, you cannot let yourself spiral like this. That's when you are liable to fuck up and make life-altering mistakes. Either way though, this entire year goes by and this dude just goes dark on social media. Ironically, the last video he posted onto his main channel was JoJo Siwa is hiding a dark secret, when in reality, he was the one hiding his own skeletons in the closet.
I'm gonna fucking bash your fucking head against the wall with a brick. Well, I'm sure this won't have any adverse...
Bro, I promise you, this dude cannot talk to his fellow man like this. This kind of feels like inferiority complex. Taking like, bro, this DA feels like some form of inferiority complex, and it's not even a superiority complex because if he was talking to other people like this, I would have been like, Fairs, no, it's only his girlfriend, the person he deems like he thinks he is superior to, or in his head he's superior to. He makes more money than her, he's stronger than her, etc, which is crazy. I dare him to speak to a man like this. They would bash his head in. What?
Effects on her future.
I just know JoJo was dancing at the crib down in Fireball straight out the bottle when this dude got exposed. It actually might be like a JoJo Siwa curse at this point. Like, y'all remember what happened to the baby?
And the things that are being hidden are quite disturbing.
In all seriousness though, the dude finally responded with this hour and 42-minute video. And yes guys, I did indeed watch the entire thing. Like, that shit had the same runtime as Lost in Translation. Now essentially Alex spends his time here saying, yes, I did some of those things. Some of the other allegations are untrue or have been misconstrued by my ex. And yeah, I might have been a piece of shit, but she is just as bad, if not worse, than myself.
Alice hit me, kicked me, emotionally, verbally, and physically abused me, as well as threatened me and blackmailed me constantly throughout our relationship. Alice has continued to harass me by posting false information about me, as well as fabricating stories about our relationship online to this day. Since our relationship ended, Alice has lied continuously for the last 12 months that I was under a police investigation, to friends, ex-girlfriends, and YouTube commentary channels.
He takes the interesting route here of basically saying that because the police never got involved, he couldn't have been abusive, which, let's be honest, most of the times the cops are not very helpful in these types of situations, as it obviously becomes a lot of he said, she said. Actually, only 5.7% of incidents end in arrest, and only 0.6% end in incarceration. There is just a lot of back and forth here when it comes to the derogatory language used, and also to allusions of physical violence from both sides.
Alice wrote right at the end of her document that for legal and obvious reasons, she wouldn't attach all the evidence she has, but in due time, it may be made public.
Not only is this not how police investigations work, but Alice has not posted more evidence since, despite saying the supposed investigation had now ended. This is because there never was an investigation, as it was a lie.
Now, she has already clapped back at this claim, posting several screenshots where authorities appear to be in contact with her as recently as this last summer. But still, Alex kinda retains here that he is the real victim to her toxic behavior.
As Alice has continued to lie about me and the she put me through during our relationship, whilst blackmailing me and threatening me. Alice has created a one-sided narrative that does not show the reality of what had happened during our relationship, as Alice intentionally left out hundreds of text conversations that would disprove her stories and false narrative that she has created. Instead, it would show that Alice had been a
He's reading from something. He's reading from something. He's DA reading from something. He's DA reading from something right now. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy, man. I mean, just don't apologize. I'm not saying he shouldn't apologize because he doesn't feel like, but like, if you do not mean it, just shut the fuck up. Genuinely, they're going to know it's disingenuous. Like, are you dumb?
for our entire relationship, and that she has not stopped harassing me for the last year.
Now, I find it pretty strange when he claims that she was lying and harassing him after their breakup, when he was contacting her from burner profiles after he had gotten blocked. He was sending her letters through the mail, he was sending her notes via Amazon, he was sending her hundreds of messages on Facebook, and that all sounds like someone who does not want to let go to me. Now, over and over, he talks about how she's the one who actually hit him. He says that she would kick him frequently, and he also cites this text message over and over where she admits that she slapped him in the face, which she did also admit in her Google Doc.
Alice had also been kicking me, which she admitted to me on Facebook Messenger after she had lied that I was on Claire's Law, that she had been slapping, punching, and kicking me throughout our relationship. When I brought up that she had been hitting me throughout our relationship, Alice responded by saying that any girl would have done the same. Alice then excused this behaviour by telling me it's okay for women to hit men if they are being an asshole.
And this is why I say this.
Oh, yeah, Alice. I've been on your side this entire thing, but okay. You were a terrible person too, then this isn't just a one-sided thing. You are both shitty people.
This guy Alex is tripping because if I'm paying for a place that me and a girl are living at, and every day she's apparently treating me like shit like he says, and she's punching and kicking me, I'm not gonna retaliate with physical violence. Her bags would just simply be packed, and the locks would be changed that day, and if I had to call the police and get them involved, I'd go that route too. But him trying to twist and turn this thing where he somehow is gonna come out as the victim is just ridiculous.
I blow hot and cold. You've seen me. I'm apologising 1 minute, shouting the next. Angry 1 minute, please come here, hold me. I read old iMessages from us from the beginning of the last year. I could see how I caused everything. Jealous about you playing games with your friends because I wanted you to dedicate your life to me.
And it's funny how he brings up this text message over and over again, but he does not acknowledge these other messages where he says he kicked her, and he also says that she never abused him. Now, in her Google Doc, she discussed several instances where she says that he got physical with her, claiming that he dragged her on the ground, pushed her, and put her in a headlock. He denies all of this using vague text messages that he attempts to explain. I mean, it's like half the time his proof is that there were no text messages or videos to support her claims.
Alice knew she would be using them in her document and that she had been planning this full story about me. Alice has used these texts to make it seem like I had physically assaulted her when this never happened.
But honestly, dude, when you're on record saying shit like this,
I'm gonna bash your head against the wall with a brick.
And we've also seen these text messages, it's hard not to imagine that you might take it there.
I'm really deeply sorry that it took me this long to really reflect properly on everything. I was still victimizing myself.
And just a little side note here, I've never...
Bro, this is such a weird story, and I'm done with it. I'm genuinely over it. They are bullshitty people. This is a classic example of when you and your partner are absolutely and undeniably, unrefutably terrible for each other, bro. They are both absolutely terrible, shitty people. Oh my goodness. Like, regardless of who wins this joint, If he's lying, if he's lying, he's a terrible person. If she's lying, she's a terrible person. If they both saying the truth, which is what I believe, they're both terrible people. If they are both lying, they are both terrible people. So there's no instance in this where somebody comes out and is like, you know, that person is not a terrible person.
Ever seen people who live in the same apartment or flat or whatever the hell they call it, who text each other so much while being in the same home? And honestly, after watching this entire 1 hour and 42-minute video and reading through her document, the real one I feel bad for is the goddamn cat that was living with them. Because it does seem like their main point of contention was him. As a matter of fact, he mentions this cat like 67 times. Yes, I did count.
I had told him to stop saying weird things to the cat. I began talking to the cat in a silly voice, and Alice was laughing with me. He then goes on to say I have punched him in the face over the cat, and that it was because of me making these jokes about the cat. This wasn't the first time where Alice had treated me this way over the cat. I had asked Alice many times to stop hurting me for being affectionate and talking with the cat, flat on my back in bed with the cat on my chest. You know, even in a relationship with the cat, like, I was upsetting you. Why does
The cat has no name. That's
she
crazy.
want to share the cat with me? And it's because of the way that I was acting.
Look guys, I don't even like cats and I'm about to go rescue that motherfucker right now. And honestly, the rest of the video is not really worth breaking down. Alex denies most of it, especially everything physical, and the only thing he really seems sorry for is the way that he spoke to her. But still he retains that she's the manipulative liar who had this master plan to expose him. He even kinda stands up for himself and saying the N-word, claiming that she was also dropping slurs too.
Dropped messages that showed her using the same racial slurs that she had accused me of bringing into our relationship.
Now, to be fair to him, I do think that she was chasing some clout, making all these relatable TikToks and trying to fish for interviews. But really no one cares because he's the known person in the situation. Like his fans thought they knew his character and they did not expect this. But no matter what happened, because at this point only her, him, and the cat will truly know, I do think that both of them need to seek some sort of professional help at this point. And for this fool Alex, his career and image is still ruined in my opinion.
Maybe not everything deserves a comeback.
He doesn't really attempt to directly address the threats he said in those voice recordings and videos, and this is actually the closest he gets to any accountability.
I was horrible to Alice on many occasions, and I deeply regret this behaviour, and nothing will justify that. But the order in which these events have been portrayed as false, as Alice is once again ignoring that she had tried to hurt me when I was just talking with our cat. I fully admit that I used horrible language, but as you could see, Alice would insult me too, but would only focus on my behaviour and would completely ignore her own.
I'm sure this little weasel
I did something bad, but they did something bad too, so it makes it okay. That's literally his defense. I did the bad thing, but they did bad things too, so we can call it deuces.
will likely try and revive his career after this, but honestly I think it's over for the fake nice guy. Like, this video of him could have been 10 minutes long and it should have been released 10 months ago. He should have just apologized, maybe expressed that he was trying to better himself, and owned that he saw how toxic he had become. You know, really owned up to the messed up things he said, while also explaining that he never got physical with her like she said he did. But instead, to me, this video was really just him pointing his finger and saying, see, she's not really a good person either. But I want to know what you guys think about this information down below. Do you guys think that Alex can regain a career online? Do you think that his fans are like satisfied?
Yo, if Fuzi can regain his career, the internet is a weird place, bro.